exactly. So,
all right. So with the season starting, can you believe it? Tomorrow, the NBA season starting tomorrow, we have another one of these projections from ESPN.com, 2024-25 NBA season preview rankings, predictions, odds. I'll just run through their rankings of the teams, which is based on where members of our panel think teams belong heading into this season. Number 1, Boston. Where do you think the Kings would rank here? Maybe you've seen this already. Where would you guess they'd be?
middle of the pack, probably somewhere.
2, OKC. 3, the Knicks. 4, Denver Nuggets. A little high for your taste, I'll bet.
Yeah, 4?
In the whole NBA.
In the whole NBA?
Uh-huh. Philadelphia, 5, according to ESPN. Dallas Mavericks, 6. We're going to talk to their play-by-play guy, Mark Fellow, at bottom of the hour. On number 7, Minnesota Timberwolves. They'll be here Thursday. They open the season in Los Angeles in a couple nights. Tomorrow night, right? Yeah. Phoenix, number 8. 9, Milwaukee Bucks. 10, Cleveland. 11, Memphis. 12, Indiana. Wow. 13, Orlando. 14, Warriors.
Jeez.
15, Lakers. 16, Pelicans. 17th in the rankings, Sacramento Kings.
Really?
Chances to make playoffs, 54.1%. Projected wins, 42.5.
Is this some math equation they used or something? Let me see.
For the projection?
Yeah, the projection.
I think that's BPI, Basketball Power Index. And I'll tell you something that's kind of funny that I just noticed. They have the Warriors ranked 14th. Their projected wins are 41.8. So they're projected to win fewer games.
But they're higher than us.
Kings are ranked lower. Yeah.
I don't understand that. I don't get that. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused, dude. This is totally.
Well, these rankings, okay, they have different rankings.
Oh,
they have the BPI ranking, which is just the numbers in the computer program. And they also have the writers ranking. So that's why some of these numbers don't really add up because it's 2 different systems, but they're going with what the writers say overall, and they say the Kings 17th.
Behind the Warriors, the Lakers,
the Grizzlies,
the Pelicans, the Grizzlies. Did you see what is that in the Western Conference? Is that outside of even playing?
Let me just double check that. Go all the way up to the top again.
You got
we
that?
have, we have OKC is second in the whole league.
Okay.
So OKC. Then we also have Denver.
That's 2.
Mm-hmm. Then we have Dallas.
3.
We have Minnesota.
4.
Phoenix.
5.
Then we have Memphis. And then
is that 6?
Yeah. The Warriors
7. Lakers 8.
And
Pelicans 9.
Yeah.
And so what? The Kings 10th?
10th best.
Come on. What are we doing? What are we? Is this chum in the water for King?
By the way.
No, I'm about to get rid of it because the fans at home watching on YouTube and everything, they probably see the Kirkland side over here. I'm gonna turn this thing around to the back, man. Yeah. All right. There we go. Much better.
Put the
much
tag
better.
in, bro.
Oh yeah, I gotta put the tag in. My bad. Jay got me. He got me on point.
Kings are primed to have a high-powered offense. DeRozan gives the team another player who can score 25 points a night, perform in the clutch. Let's see. If they plan to play players such as DeRozan or Kevin Huerter at small forward, they will have to rely even more heavily on their offense to just outscore their opponents. One weakness Sacramento is facing, lack of size. Kings have struggled against longer and bigger teams. I agree with that. And it's so obvious, I have to think that Monty is aware of that and he's trying to address it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he understands that. He hears us talking and, he understands what's going on. He sees the roster. He sees if we lose Domas and, where are we then? And so I think Monty understands that. But the thing about Monty, he's not going to just go out there and sign somebody for the sake of signing. It's a strategic move. You know what I mean? It's something, that he's more measured in his approach, if you will.
You know what I think was more unfortunate in the preseason, even than losing all the games, was the fact that you could not see anything from Orlando Robinson.
Right.
That's a guy
who knows what he is, right? We don't know.
He might be a big piece of this, but now, you still really don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And who knows, like you were saying, He might have viewed him as the answer for what we're talking about.
Right.
And we got to wait and see. We all know this. The season hasn't even started. They can still make moves at the trade deadline, up until the trade deadline. So I firmly believe that, they're going to figure something out.
Mm-hmm. You're not concerned at all about the way they played in the preseason.
Nah, it's preseason.
Yeah, they just didn't play well. They need to play better.
I agree.
Need to have more flow in the offense, starting Thursday night against Minnesota.
I think so. And, I just think, because they're a veteran team, they can flip this. They understand preseason ain't the same. Do I want them to have the mentality, come in, be ready to go, fired up, even in preseason, handle business? Yes, but I'm a pause and wait and see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think the West is going to be an absolute dogfight.
Oh yeah.
I said this last week. I understand optimism. I think some fans are thinking the Kings are going to be a lot better than most teams in the West. They're going to establish themselves early. They'll be up near the top, and they're just going to coast home. And maybe they'll compete for one of the top 4 spots. And maybe they will, but I think it's more likely the Kings will be in that bunch of teams from 4 to 10, wherever, where there's just going to be an absolute dogfight, back alley, scrap all season long.
And the thing about it, the separation,
right?
There's going to be 51 to 46, like 6 or 7 teams within that win total, and so that's why every game is important, even against the dregs of the NBA. That's why it's important to get off to a good start. And, they say it's a marathon, not a sprint, but I feel like they got to have a sprinter's mentality where, if you relax just a bit, you can get past. So you got to go, 100 miles an hour right from the jump.
Yeah, it would be great if the Kings qualify as a top 6 team, and they're capable of doing that. I just think that if they're battling for a play-in spot, I hope fans don't look at that and go, and obviously it depends how it happens, but I hope fans don't look down on that and go, oh, they were playing last year. Because I think the West, there are so many good teams that it would be to their credit if they're able to stay in that scrap, because there's going to be a lot of good teams scratching and clawing for their lives this year.
Yeah.
The 2 LA teams specifically.
Right. Think about it. Those are 2 veteran teams with, if they flame out again, it's like, do we blow it up? What do we do? It's like their last chance, their last gasp. And then you got the young, hungry teams like San Antonio and Houston coming up, chomping at the bit, and then you also got the top of the top, the OKCs and Minnesotas that feels like it's their time. We talked about it last week, I think it was. There are probably 8, 9 teams in the West that feel like, you know what? This is our year. We should make a deep run in the playoffs. Whereas, the East, probably 5 or 6. I think 1 through 10 or 11 really think in the West they can make some noise.
Who scares you more, New Orleans or Memphis? From the Kings standpoint.
New Orleans, just because the matchup, I think we match up better with Memphis. I think De'Aaron gets up for Ja Morant, but for some reason that length of what New Orleans throws at us, Herb Jones and Trey Murphy and those guys, it gives us problems. We no answer for Zion or Brandon Ingram. And so I just feel Memphis is more of a balanced offensive team, if you will. Like, I feel like we match up better against a team like Memphis.
Can you tell me how the Warriors got better? Why are so many people picking them? Just, it's consistent, a couple notches ahead of the Kings. The Kings had DeMar DeRozan. The Warriors, I know they added some guys, but why do you think so many people look at the Warriors as being better than they were last year?
It's the Steph Curry effect, or the Warrior. Like, it's like this. You give teams the benefit of the doubt, and it's like, I guess some people think the moves the Warriors made were good moves. Like, they what they did. I'm not one of them. I think they were okay moves. I don't think it moves the needle enough, but you can never count out Steph Curry. That's the thought, right? That's the belief.
Yeah.
I just don't know why we don't get the benefit of the doubt either.
ESPN writes, if their preseason numbers mean anything, the Warriors should be one of the top 3-point shooting teams in the league. Well, preseason doesn't mean anything.
Right, it doesn't. Right, that's the point. And so But the problem too is when you look at the critique of the Kings, they go with the same lazy defensive narrative, of defense. And so when we talked about it, second half of the season, Kings were much improved defensively. And so I just don't think people are paying attention to what we're doing out here.
Speaking of those extensions, do you think the Warriors are blowing it by not coming to some kind of agreement with Jonathan Kuminga?
Nah, because he'll be restricted. No matter what, they'll have his rights. They'll match whatever offer he gets in the offseason. And so, no, I think would it be nice for him? Yes. But I think ultimately he's going to be a Warrior.
I agree with you. I was talking, Jerry Reynolds was telling me about that not too long ago. Because he was in the Kings front office about the time they put the restricted free agency in there. And he said it's for teams to use. Teams don't use it. Sometimes like the Warriors with Poole. They could have waited and seen what his value was.
Right.
Instead, they signed this big extension for him. They
didn't have to do that.
Right. Before he even got to restricted free agency.
Exactly.
So it's smart in some cases
to wait.
Assuming you can do it without really offending a guy or whatever. But to see, all right, we're going to wait and see what your market is and make our decision there.
Some guys do get offended by that, though. You know what I mean? Some guys get upset about that. It's like, I've done all I can. I'm averaging 18, 20 points per game. And I guess when you look at especially superstar level players, it makes sense to give him that deal because you don't want to do anything to upset them. They have the leverage. They can force trades, that kind of thing. It's different, though. I'm surprised Kuminga has did you see, you mentioned Şengün got his today?
I did not mention
You didn't mention that? Yeah, Şengün.
Jalen
Green got his today as well. And so I'm shocked that the Warriors haven't done that with Kuminga.
Mm-hmm, yeah. I think it's a case where he thinks he's worth more than they think he's worth, clearly. I think he thinks he's worth a lot.
The max maybe or something like that.
Don't see him at that level.
And I think
they came to an agreement with Moody for much less.
I think the Warriors are very cap aware. Like they are aware of their finances after paying all that luxury tax and things like that over the years. I think they are really aware of, their spending going forward.
You already prepared us last week for the opening night to be maybe not what we are hoping for, right? I mean, you said, let's not overreact if they don't play well against Minnesota Timberwolves, right?
No, don't react. It's one game. It's one game. You know what I mean? It's like, I do, if they get blown out, then okay. But if it's a hard fought tough and they lose by 3 at home, I'm not going to trip out or anything like that. You want them to win, yes, but it'd be different if they lost at home to Portland game 1. Minnesota is one of the top teams in the NBA. I get it.
I just want them to play well after playing so poorly in the preseason. Just want them to have a good game. What did you think of the WNBA championship yesterday?
I didn't get to watch it.
It was terrible. They ruined the best season in WNBA history with a terrible call.
I saw the call and it was terrible. Are we talking about the Breonna Stewart travel and then the foul?
Right.
Like, that was bad. And then you heard Minnesota's coach afterwards.
Yes.
She was saying, bring that smoke. She was ready for that smoke.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. We got to understand. The officiating in the WNBA has, in my opinion, been awful all season long. It has been really poorly officiated. And I think it's something the league needs to address. I think it's something the league needs to do. That's a tough way to go out. Pivotal game. And did you see, I just saw this on social media. The commissioner had a dress on that had the New York skyline.
We talk about the Lakers always get favorable calls, and they never call holding on the Chiefs. But I've never seen anything like that where the commissioner of the league comes out wearing a dress with one team's skyline on it and then says, this is where the championship belongs.
Yes. Yeah, that's the fix is in, right? Like, jeez. Yeah, that's not a good look. That's not a good look.
Yeah. So that was an unfortunate end to a great season. Well, the hat looks good.
Nah, I got to take it off, man. It's itching my head and everything. I thought it was Travis Matthew. It's Kirkland's signature here. I'm like, I don't know about this hat here. So I decided to take it off. I appreciate the gesture, though. How about that?
Yeah.
It'll go up on my mantle or something like that.
I'm going to put my
autograph it.
Yeah, I'll sign it maybe. And, nobody wants this, Jay.
An autograph. It's got Kyle Draper autograph.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, how was FanFest?
No, it was
The
fantastic.
autograph ain't worth nothing?
No, I signed a lot of autographs yesterday. That's for sure. FanFest was great. 8,000, 9,000, something like that. Tremendous vibes in the arena as well. It was amazing to see, man. It was amazing to be back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the guys were great, man. They went into the crowd signing autographs. Fox, Sabonis, Mason Jones, like everybody, sort of went into the crowd, signed autographs, took pictures. It was amazing.
I know there's at least one guy on Twitter who's like, Kyle Draper is the greatest, and he does so much for the fans. So what's the mood of the fan base based on what you saw yesterday about this upcoming season?
Who was that? Who said that?
It was probably one of Kyle Draper's burner accounts.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
I was going to show some love. I was say for real. Like, who really put that out there?
Yeah, he retweeted it. I saw it. I forget who it was.
Drapes, you were in rare form yesterday, brother?
Yeah, man. I was out there with my people, man. I was with my people out there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good time, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Good time.
Mm-hmm.
Good time.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting there with High Flyer, had my son there as well. What you going out there right now? You what you on social? You looking it up right now? You trying to find it right now?
You and that guy credit.
Yeah.
I muted Kyle Draper.
Listen to you. It was great, man. It was the thing about yesterday, and I said it, I was on the mic there, did a Q&A, is that
Alex Razchak.
Yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy.
I'm such a Kyle Draper TV fan, man. The love he shows the Kings and our fans is next level, and he's out in full force at FanFest. Love to see it.
That's what's up, brother.
That was my guy. That's KD. I'm glad you ain't played a Kyle Draper pause one or whatever that one is. Like, nah, man. I said it was like a family reunion yesterday. When it's like the fans are back in the building, you're seeing the ushers and the concession workers and everything. You're seeing the players and some of the people courtside. It was, it was great. It's like, all right, we're back together. This feels like home. That's what it felt like yesterday.
So what are fans expecting? Where do you think they are? Are they cautiously optimistic? Are they bullish on this season? We heard from some people last week right here on the text line. Oh, they're not going to make the playoff. They should tank.
You know how it is, Whitey. The negative people always are a little louder. I think fans are bullish on this season. I think it was interesting when they introduced the players. DeMar was the last one they introduced, sort of like, and look, our new special weapon that we have. And so, man, it's fan. I think the team fans are excited. I think, they're expecting big things. I mean, think about it. In terms of the roster, it's the best roster we've had in a number of years, almost 20 years or so. And so I think fans understand that, a very smart fan base, and they're looking forward to it.
Is Dougie McDermott already becoming kind of a fan favorite?
I think so. And he's going to play, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to be a big part of what we do. His skill set is something we don't have. Him and Kevin Huerter are the only true, just pure knockdown, catch and shoot guys. And we saw it in the preseason game. And I think fans are going to love this guy.
You're supposed to give him this year what they were hoping to get from Sasha, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How about that? Yes. And that's what I said. It's like, and I was saying it last week. I was saying it to High Flyer yesterday. Sasha was brought here to make shots. He just couldn't make shots. Doug McDermott, a career 40% three-point shooter. That's what he's going to do. We know that, And so I think that's why it's an upgrade. A lot of people are like, oh, we get McDermott. That's it. But this guy can knock down, shoot the ball. So I think he's going to help us.
If you look at the top five, projected to be the top five in the West. So you're talking about Minnesota, talking about Dallas, talking about Denver, and then Phoenix, and who am I missing in there? OKC. Which of those five do you think is most likely to slide? You think it's Denver?
Denver, yeah. I think
they're the top
every
five.
year they're losing. And I know they got Russell Westbrook. It was, he's a future Hall of Famer, but I don't know if he fits with what they do. And you lose a guy like KCP, a dog, a two-way player. You lose Jeff Green, Bruce Brown, in previous years. And they got him
number 4.
What was the win total projected?
Projected wins 46.3.
Like, why do they? It seems like they always underproject, though. If the fourth team in the NBA has 46 wins, that doesn't make sense, right?
Well, this is a little confusing because it's number 4, Denver Nuggets. BPI's ranking 6. So you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Are they 4th or are they 6th?
Right. It doesn't. Yeah. It's confusing. And I understand you got to have content before the season, but man.
OKC. Number 2, they rank them. BPI ranks them number 1. OKC is going to be, assuming some health, they're going to be great this year.
Okay. Oh, they're so deep, even without Hartenstein to begin the season.
Mm-hmm.
And 100%. I think, the ad of Alex Caruso coming off your bench, a tough, hard-nosed dog, I think so. I think they're the deepest team probably in the Western Conference.
You can experience the classic rock you know and love with the Little River Band this fall, only at the Nugget Casino Resort. Drapes, Jay, you guys got a favorite Little River Band song?
No.
Reminiscing. All you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now, looking for caller number
7.
Caller number 7.
Doug McBuckets.
To score that pair of tickets to check out the Little River Band at Nugget Casino Resort in Reno. Get an automatic entry for the grand prize drawing of an inclusive one-night stay after the show. For more information, visit SactownSports.com. Stick around. Mark Fellowell, the voice of the Denver Nuggets, joins us next. Of the Dallas Mavericks. Mark Fellowell, voice of the Mavericks, joins us next on Sactown Sports.